he's not been hit on the chin. Dillian Whyte can whack, and he's in great shape. And I think that Dillian's going to take this fight and go in there and go, you know what? He's going to roll the dice and punch when, you know, Moses does. And I think that is the importance here. Dillian's got to take the chance early.
It could. I think it might be too soon for Moses. I think Moses is on a great run. I think Dillian, you know, if he had more momentum, it would be. I could probably stamp my authority on the decision a bit more.
Questions for Moses. Is he ready for this level? Can he take a shot? What's he like when the going gets tough? Is he overrated?
Moses Itauma is being cautioned by boxing experts that facing Dillian Whyte could be dangerous because too. Whyte's strength and expertise. Whyte's choice to take on Itauma surprised Derek Chisora, who points out that the young fighter is still growing and not yet at the same level. To avoid putting his career in risk too soon, many think Itauma should get more experience before taking on such a skilled and dangerous opponent.
I had a phone call a couple of weeks ago. They offered me to fight Moses Itauma in Saudi. You know, I said, how much? He said, 2 million. I said, nah, I'm out. I even phoned Dylan. I was like, Dylan, I don't know why you're taking this fight, you know, because this kid is on fire right now. And he's getting better and better. It's not like he's going backwards, he's going forward.
One of the reasons he is taking it is that Moses is WBO #1 at the moment, so that there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
Ain't no light at that tunnel.
I agree with you. I think I don't think Dillian gets beyond 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah. You're crazy. Yeah. There's no light at that tunnel. That kid is, no, you mad. No way. Even Lawrence Okoli said Moses is bad.
Whyte has voiced concerns about the timing of a potential fight between Moses Itauma and Dillian Whyte. While he acknowledges Moses' talent and promise, he warns that the young fighter is still early in his professional journey. Dean stresses that boxing isn't just about skill, it's also about experience and knowing how to adapt under pressure. He believes Dillian Whyte, a seasoned heavyweight who has faced top-tier opponents in high-stakes bouts, may be too big a challenge at this stage. Rushing into a fight of this magnitude could risk Moses' development and long-term career. Dean urges Moses and his team to carefully consider the risks before taking such a significant step. He believes Moses has the potential for a great career, but insists that timing and the right progression are key to his success.
He's the new kid on the block, the kid with the thunder, big punch in southpaw. He's predicted to be the leading boy of the heavyweight division. So, I mean, look. It's a crossroads fight, obviously, as you could look at it. They're saying they're hoping that the baton will be passed from him beating Dillian. I think Dillian's got other ideas, and Dillian's a man that's never should be written off. It could. I think it might be too soon for Moses. I think Moses is on a great run. I think Dillian, you know, if he had more momentum, it would be. I could probably stamp my authority on the decision a bit more. But still, Dillian's pressing. He's working hard, and if Dillian's up for it, that experience, you know, is going to play a pivotal role in that fight.
Moses talks candidly about his fight preparations at Itauma, demonstrating that he is working tirelessly with his instructors. He talks confidently about his training regimen, stating that each session aims to increase his conditioning and refine his talents. Although some members of his inner circle worry about the task he is about to undertake, Moses brushes these concerns aside, claiming that no one else is aware of his true potential. He has faith in his own fortitude, mentality, capacity to withstand the strain of competing against a seasoned opponent such as Dillian Whyte. He is still focused on carrying out his strategy and demonstrating that he is worthy of competing against one of the sport's most seasoned heavyweights.
There's nothing to kind of deal with, because it's like the only thing you can do is either get angry or ignore it. So I choose to keep in control of my emotions. So I just kind of ignore it. Like, I'm just only on my own path. Everybody's got their own journey. Everybody's got their own thing. But like, I'm not trying to compare anything.
Yeah.
And we was just talking about it with my coaches yesterday. It was like, you know, a lot of people put pressure because they're too worried about the outcome. I'm not worried about the outcome. I'm worried about the game plan. and then the game plan leads to the outcome. So I don't think of things that I can't control. Your opinions I can't control. Like, for example, like if I go to bed today, I wake up tomorrow morning, I still got to play the Moses Itauma role.
Yeah.
So my feelings and my feelings and opinions of myself can't be based on what someone else thinks of me, because you don't have to play the Moses Itauma role 24/7. I do. So I just choose to ignore him.
Dillian Whyte, right? I mean, I think it surprised a few when he got announced. It was like, okay, and all of a sudden people were like, this is an interesting fight. Old Lion versus young Lion. What do you make of Dillian Whyte and where he is now in his career?
I think I might be boxing the best Dillian Whyte there is, because he knows this is his last chance. So I just got to kind of stop him from coming back into the division. To be honest, for a long time,
Moses Itauma receives a direct communication from Dillian Whyte, emphasizing the importance of not underestimating him. He emphasizes that Moses has never encountered a fighter like him before because of his experience, guts, and fighting spirit. Dillian emphasizes their disparity in energy, claiming that his years of experience, his difficult struggles, and his ability to survive high-stakes fights offer him an advantage that young people cannot match. He makes it clear that Moses should anticipate a formidable foe who will not back down, and that he is entering the battle with a point to prove.
I ain't frustrated media, I was frustrated people talking shit, and then when they come and see him in shape and different mindset, then they start changing their minds and opinion. I'm like, yo, I have the same energy, bro. I have the same energy. When I'm 118, 120 kilos, I have the same energy, because now I'm light and I look like I'm in shape. Then now everybody's like, oh yeah. I'm like, yo, come on, man. You know, I don't need to be 100% to win some fights, because I'm a fighter, I know what to fight. He's had more amateur fights than me and all of this other shit. You know, he's doing what he's meant to know. And one thing is, he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The ignorance of inexperience. You know, I didn't say it right, but I'm tired. Yeah. Ignorance of youth or whatever the it is. Yeah. I'm not a chump, bro. You know, I'm not a chump. You know, obviously people writing me up, but I'm not a chump. So this is what happened Saturday.
Dillian, one word. What can we expect on Saturday night?
What I always bring, man. I always bring that. With me, there's always that unpredictability in the ring. You know what I mean?
Head of the bout. A training partner who has been closely collaborating with Dillian Whyte offers his candid assessment of the heavyweight's health. He discloses that Dillian's physical appearance is better than it has been in a long time. During training, move with purpose and agility. He's throwing punches with actual force. He has excellent movement and remarkable stamina during sparring sessions. According to Dillian's training partner, Moses Itauma may be in for some difficulties because of his unparalleled dedication and serious approach to this battle.
I sparred Dillian the last time when he fought against Fury, and he developed very good. Like, he's in good shape for his upcoming fight against Itauma. I think he's in great shape.
Experts in boxing agree that Moses Itauma is older than his years in and out of the ring. They commend his discipline, skill set, and the fact that he has already participated in more than 20 amateur bouts and innumerable sparring sessions. They also note, though, that this bout marks a significant advancement in the level of competition. Taking on Dillian Whyte means facing a competitor who has competed against world champions and elite competitors. Moses' skills, mental fortitude, flexibility will be put to the test in this advanced class against a deadly veteran.
Now, Itauma only had about 20 or so amateur fights. He has done a lot of sparring, but again, sparring is behind closed doors. You're in an environment that you feel comfy in. You're away from the scrutiny of the camera. You're not allowed, strictly speaking, you're not really allowed, and most gyms won't allow you to record a spar. They might show you a glimpse of footage, but you're talking 5 seconds, maybe, if even. So he's been kind of away in his own comfort zone. He's fought on big shows as co-main event. I believe him against McKeon was co-main event on Fury Usyk too. But again, he's going in as the firm favourite against the fighter he's expected to beat, and he's the bridesmaid, right? He's fought in the he's fought in the York Hall a couple of times. He's fought low down the card. You know, Itauma's always been that guy. You know, he can learn his craft. He's not strictly, you know, the eyes of the world are on you, etc. Getting bigger, and you know, more people are talking about him, but still, you know, comfy at his own pace. Now his first headline, bear in mind, Joshua's first headline, I believe, was at the O2 against Gary Cornish. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I know he headlined that night. And this is his first headline, a pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia against Dillian Whyte, and all the media work that comes with it. You did a face-off on Monday, you had the grand arrivals yesterday, you're doing the public workout today, you're doing the press conference tomorrow, you're doing the weigh-in tomorrow, or you're doing the weigh-in on Friday, now you're doing fight night on Saturday. You'll have a press conference most likely after. Lots going on. Lots going on for a young man at 20. How is he taking all that? And that's what I'm wondering. It really, again, you know, you compare him to maybe someone like an Anthony Joshua, and it's like, well, AJ had, you know, all this experience in the amateurs. He had, you know, the Sky, you know, machine behind him and stuff like that. But he was a lot older than Itauma. Again, how old would AJ have been? What, mid to late 20s? 25, 26, thereabouts. So old enough to be, you know, a bit more sturdy in that. It does have me wondering with Itauma. It is a wonder. But personally, I think Itauma, when I look at him, I think that there's something there with this kid. I think he's got an old head on young shoulders. I think that this is the first, look, it's his first time headliner, it's the first pay-per-view, but it will be jeers.
Dillian Whyte. Several pundits portray this bout as a do-or-die situation. They think his top-tier career may effectively end if he loses to a young, up-and-coming fighter like Moses Itauma, because he will fight with ferocity and resolve to win. He is now more dangerous than ever. Dillian understands that a win here would restore his reputation as a serious candidate. This high-stakes situation might force him to put on one of his most aggressive games to date, but a loss would cast doubt on his future in the sport.
Relax. Moses has been performing under the bright lights, but what I'm saying is, it's still so early and he's got a lot to prove. Up until this point, I can't argue. He's passed every test with flying colours, but the problem is, he's passed so easily, he's missed out on valuable lessons along the way, and he's now got a very experienced veteran in front of him in Dillian Whyte, who's been at world level. Everybody's written Dillian off, but recently, seeing interviews and seeing training footage, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I've got to be honest, my mind's starting to shift. Let's take a look and discuss the key takeaways.
I don't think I've ever seen you be this big an underdog in a fight. You are like 1-14.
Dev asked Dillian, how does he feel being the underdog?
And that's what makes you dangerous. As an underdog, you're underneath. You get up at them testicles and lock onto them, and it's game over.
It's crazy really because, like I said, he's fought at world level, fighting the likes of Povetkin, Fury, Chisora, AJ, Parker, the list goes on. But in sports, you're only as good as your last performance. In Dillian's last fight, he looked terrible, putting it politely.
Has he put something in you? Because like your last few fights, Ebenezer like instilled a fear, not...
No man has put anything in me, pause this.
Dillian does make me laugh, dark humour. But maybe that says more about me. He says it the way it is. There's no sugar coating. Dev says, is this the biggest risk he's took in his career? Which again is madness.
All of them has been massive, because you think, no one's ever had me as the favourite. Think of one fight that was the favourite. Just think.
Dylan's right. He's always the underdog. It's nothing new.
How do you reflect on your fight with Tete?
It was what it was. Listen, I've been walking the long, lonely, dark road for 3 years.
This is the thing. People forget that fighters go through things outside of the ring which affect the performance, but us fans only judge the performance. At the end of the day, fighters are human, they're not robots.
Then that fight for me was ask myself a question. Can I take a good walk and push through? Can I force myself to put the jabs in? Can I...
He admits he wasn't in great shape, but that fight for him was about dipping his foot in the water and seeing if he still got it and still wants it.
I had a few injuries and stuff going into the fight, but it is what it was. But that fight reignited the sport.
We've not really seen him, and that's where his weakness could be.
Of course. I mean, if you try to go out there and blast him out, you're playing into his hands because he's young, he's fast, and he can punch. So sometimes you gotta walk him down.
You've been part of the Dillian Whyte team now. Dillian Whyte joined you, right? He left Mark Tibbs and said, okay, I need Buddy McGirt. You've been part of the team for a while. Do you have any say on the opponent? Now, does he come to you, for example, and say, look, okay, this is what we want to do, and then you can kind of give him guidance? Or is it a case of, this is the opponent, get me ready for this opponent, buddy?
Well, it's like this. In a situation like this, when they come to you, he said to me, listen, buddy, This is what they're putting on the table for me. I said, so what do you want to do? I mean, I don't want to say, yeah, and you're not feeling it. You know, I want to see what you're feeling. And he goes, I got to go for it. So, all right, let's go. You know, we're a team. So if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. I mean, if we got to go through this hailstorm to get to the other side of the we got to do what we got to do.
Buddy, I saw something the other day, and I don't believe you. I want to pull you up on it. I think I saw that you said you haven't seen Moses box before, and you don't watch your opponent's box. But I don't believe you, buddy. I don't believe you.
I swear to you. I will not lie to you.